All right, trivalent beings, welcome. It's time for Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solutions, showcasing Tune, the trivalent understanding noetics, the next step in humanity, featuring stand-up philosophy combined with comedy, culture, science, music, medicine, self-performed music through a genre called edutainment, entertaining while educating by the hip hop trio plus and global entertainment. Host,
Hip Hop Trio.
creator of Tune, Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, co-host Dr. Hamida Woods, MED, PhD, MED 2. I have the PH and he has the M. We both have D's, and that makes us, y'all, Doc squared. The title of today's show is It Over Yet?
Is it over yet? Is it really over yet? Okay, y'all, this is a 3-part show today. We're going to have the regular part involving Asking Doc. We're going to continue with the trivalent understanding noetics intro. If I remember correctly, we were at Affirmations of the Wounded Soul last week. And then we're going
Well,
to...
the last time we were here. Last week we didn't make it.
Thank you,
That's
sweetheart.
right.
I appreciate
Yeah.
you. I love you.
We missed y'all.
Yeah. A little bit. We did. Okay. And the last part is going to be the continuing story of the worst attack that this nation has had since 1812, maybe ever. And I think we need to start right dead in the center. We're going to start in the middle by thanking the Soul Focus Group for the 2-day seminar on anti-racism
Yes. Appreciate
that we
y'all.
went to at Rittal.
Yes.
Rakib Mahdi, who is a member of
Mahdi.
the Louisiana family known as the Landrys. They're very, very well known throughout there, and he was shocked to be told that I was medical director of Sister Island, Louisiana, and vice president for primary care for the whole state of Louisiana before Congress. Okay. They came with sincerity, openness, and firm conviction that what they were doing was necessary for the elevation or even the continuance of the American people. They were against, I repeat, against racism. I introduced them to something they could be for,
Yeah.
the trivalent understanding noetics, and making human beings into meta-humans by elevating their ability to function, their ability to understand, and their ability to perceive this reality.
Yes.
That's something totally, completely. Okay, I explained spirit and noetics. I discussed knowledge and understanding and learning. I taught vectoring, augmentation to the CEO and one of his other instructors. Because I told them I was going to change how they function from head to toe in 133 seconds, which I always tell everybody. And I wanted to prove that that's not running my mouth. I do what I say. And both of them agreed. Yeah, I am different. I am changed from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet.
Yes.
And it took about that long.
Yes.
And we discussed how our view of ourselves is polluted by the experiences and disappointments of others. We're going to do something called Grapes of Wrath right about now because John Steinbeck came up with a term called the Grapes of Wrath and wrote a book that turned into a movie. And it was about what the undeveloped, unfulfilled purposes of human beings turn into. He
Yes.
stated it turns into a malevolent energy, psycho-spiritual energy that kind of messes up not just the people who experience it, but their failures are passed down to their progeny. Their children are cursed by these grapes of wrath. And for the largest time, that's what we have to deal with. The American people. I'm not just talking about Alkebulanese. All of America has to deal with these grapes of wrath.
Yes.
The Hip Hope Trio Plus is going to be doing the grapes of wrath.
And before we begin, we want to make sure you know that the Hip Hope Trio consists of the plus, Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, and the trio is Michelle Kendall, aka Shelly K, and then her sister Kenya Kendall,
KK.
aka KK, yes, and of course myself,
Yeah.
Essie Bassett, my stage name, yes.
And that's us doing performances.
Yes.
We do stuff like that. We edutain our hearts out.
And design.
Yes, my wife designed all the stuff that you saw in those costumes and everything. It's a part of her Yummy and Stuff label.
My husband's a designer as well, so he did play a part
I do a little bit.
in some of the garments as well.
Okay. We're going to now entertain you with an edutainment song that describes the grapes of wrath. This is written by Mississippi Charles Bevel.
Yes.
He called it Not a Seasons, because human beings don't mate in season. They mate 24/7. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
I ain't lying. But he gave us permission to call it grapes of wrath. So listen. That means make pictures out of the words you are hearing to the grapes of wrath.
Yes.
Babies coming to this world, not a season. Even if we don't, they know the reasons. And the one who sends them, gives them gifts to care. Tells them, children, take your time, but do not tarry. You will all arrive but naked, endowed to make it. You should have everything you need when you get there. But you should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. You should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. Gods and babies, they don't know how we are divided. If they did to send them, never would have been decided. Red and brown, black and white, how we mock them. Rich and poor, high or low, is how we stop them. Why do we make those distinctions when we don't have an inkling of what each child will bring, how they'll share? We just take their gifts and crush like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. So we all get in line for a young one. Some will grab 10 or 12, some will get none. And the children chose by rich ones will be pampered, while the children left to poor ones will be hampered. Why do we act like such heathens when every known religion teaches us each and every child is in our care? But we just take their gifts and crush them like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath.
Yes, we send them out to harvest.
Yes, we send them out to harvest.
Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Whoa, whoa,
Yes, Grapes of Wrath by the Hip Hop Trio Plus.
And Mississippi, Charles Bell.
Ashe.
Okay. And now, for the continuing story of the destruction of the Republican Party and its refusal to accept blame for the only eliminated non-violent transfer of power in the history of the United States government. All other transfers of power has been peaceful and non-violent. The Republican Party is responsible for the only non-peaceful and violent transfer of power.
Hey.
Tomorrow is the day the committee has scheduled for a dereliction of duty. That's going to be the primary focus for line 44.5. Again, he is not a whole person, so he cannot be a whole president. He is not the 45th president. He's 44.5, and he has told more lies than anybody in known history. That's why he is line 44.5.
Y'all know.
Now, while police were assaulted, buildings broken into and occupied, feces and urine spread all over the walls, podiums and other possessions stolen, and hang Mike Pence, complete with gallows, was echoing 40 foot away from the vice president. Now, line 44.5 enjoyed watching the chaos he had produced despite pleas from friends, family, and Fox TV hosts to tell insurrectionists to go home. Now, 3 hours and a few minutes. 187 minutes to be exact. Now you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, my first real job was working for the United States Army. So I was in firefights trying to kill people on occasion. Firefights last generally from 10 to 20 minutes. That's it. A firefight, a battle. That's generally what it lasts. If it lasts an hour, that's a long time. This lasted for more than 3 hours. But believe it or not, when the crowd and all these people rushed the Capitol and beat up our policemen and jacked up our democracy, a even greater, more serious dereliction of duty had already taken place.
Yes.
I want to use Liz Cheney's statement, willful blindness. Willful blindness is a legal term that means you know it's wrong, you are told it's wrong, you don't act like it's wrong, you don't believe it's wrong, you are still convicted not on what you think or what you believe, but on the wrongness, the guilty of your behavior. She said willful blindness by many people, politicians, lawyers, media, and supporters, had led to the dangers our capital faced on January 6th. I've said for years that line 44.5 don't bother me hardly at all. I don't have to worry about him bombing my house, threatening my family, burning a cross on my front lawn. What I have to worry about and what scares the hell out of me are his supporters and his followers.
Right.
I'll tell you more specifics about that in just a few seconds. Okay. I don't mean the followers that targeted the Capitol on January 6th, but I'm referring to the ones that allowed January 6th to occur. Mm-hmm. Right now, Republicans are trying to find a fall guy or girl for what happened in January 6, 2021. Mark Meadows is one of the people they're trying to find as a fall guy. Mark Meadows,
Yes.
the president's.
And if you don't remember what he looks like, we're going to make sure you all get a pic
Yes.
of what he looks like.
Yeah, Mark Meadows,
Yes.
the chief of staff for line 44.5. He is one, and that ain't Mark Meadows, that's Moscow Mitch McConnell. Mark Meadows.
It's coming.
We ain't gonna look
coming.
at it now. All right, that's all right. We'll look at it
When
when
it
we can see it.
when it comes up, we'll remind you.
We'll look at him when
That's
we can
right.
see him. But back to my story.
Yes.
They're looking for fall guys and girls. Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, and another person is Sidney Powell. Some people that call them the crazies are also trying to point to the Proud Boys and all these white power people as fall people, responsible people. And some people, believe it or not, and I had to find this out from 3 sources before I believed it, they're actually blaming the Capitol Hill police for the riot. They're blaming them. Oh, y'all should have stopped us. Y'all wasn't ready to stop us. And because y'all wasn't ready to stop us, that's why that's Mark Meadows. Lord help us. Oh my God. Chief of Staff of Line 44.5. He was one of the fall people along with Rudy Giuliani. Can we get a Rudy Giuliani shot? A Rudy Giuliani shot. The famous Rudy Giuliani shot.
Y'all remember that time he had the black dye in his hair or dark dye in his hair?
Yeah.
And he was
brown,
outside and there was some stuff
That's
running.
That's Rudy. Was that
That's
Rudy?
him.
Yeah, he look
Y'all
like
remember
he's
that?
sitting right across from a sex toy shop.
Ugh.
That's where he
Oh,
was.
that's right. That's where he was.
That's
Across
where
the
he
street
was.
from. That's right.
He was in a
Sex toy shop.
landscaper's
Yeah.
front yard, right across from a sex toy shop.
Yeah.
Wow, I wonder did he notice that he had black dye all on his
With his hair juice running
Well,
down
when
his
he
face.
wiped his face off, he saw it on there. He had a
I'm
napkin
sure
or
he had
something.
He had a
handkerchief.
And,
Yeah.
But it didn't stop.
But it didn't
Rudy,
stop him.
Come on now.
He didn't skip a beat. He didn't even look at it. He just wiped it off.
And kept on moving. And again, they're saying Nancy Pelosi, it's your fault that we rioted.
That's right.
Capitol Hill Police, it is your fault that we rioted.
Antifa.
Oh yeah, Antifa, I forgot all about that. They're putting this blame anywhere. Anywhere except where it always belongs.
Yes.
Right in the ample lap of line 44.5. Now, I'm going to, again, fall back on Lizzie's. My mother is a Lizzie, so I have a tendency to like Lizzie's. Elizabeth's a partial of me.
Yes.
Liz Cheney said, line 44.5, I'm sorry, she called him by his regular name, is not an impressionable child. He is a 79, though he looks to be 109, year-old man. He is responsible for his actions or inactions. And that's what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. Now, let us use our ability to think, reason, and remember. We want to use those things to evaluate exactly who is responsible for what happened January on the 6th.
And before we go there, we will be accepting calls today. You can call at 1-602-610-2060 and enter the code 951-438. 951-438.
Okay, dokie, I love it. Look at that scrolling. See, my wife says stuff in yeah. Hey. Now, let us use our ability to think, reason, and remember to evaluate responsibility. We have, excuse me, as my wife just stated, we're going to be accepting questions on Ask Doc. But until y'all call me with a question, I'm going to ask you something. Wow, that was pretty darn good. So, we're going to flip the script on Ask Doc. Doc going to ask you a couple of questions. Who did all of the people that are being blamed work for? I'm talking about Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and the rest of the crazies, the far right-wing militia, Capitol Police. Who did all of these people work for? Answer that question. Who is the lionest person and known to ever exist in politics? Now, I got the numbers down here. According to the Washington Post, 5,200 documented lies in 4 years. That's basically 8 to 10 lies a day. And you believe this person?
We are not safe.
8 to 10 lies a day?
You believe this person? Talk to me, pink people. And who is supporting such a person? The supporters of such a person scare the living hell out of me. Why? Because they are obviously infatuated with a liar. Liars defame the truth. But the truth is also known as facts, reality, science, history, all of these other things that are part and parcel of the truth. I am a scientist. My whole life is dedicated to truth. The exact opposite of what these people support. So I cannot ever expect to understand them, for them to understand me, and for any understanding to exist between us. Okay. Unfortunately, one of the major reasons that they exist is the tainted media that they consume. Fox, America Online, all these other far right-wing stations feed those who listen to it a strict diet of lies, half-truths, and misinformation. Don't believe me? They did a study about 60 days ago in which they actually paid normal Fox viewers to, instead of watching Fox for 30 days, they were supposed to watch CNN. And they did that for 30 days, and at the end of that 30 days, they took a survey. The one consistent thing on everybody who took that survey was how much they learned that they had never known anything about watching Fox. How much more they understood reality that they were living in than Fox News or any of those other far right-wing stations ever told them. Because unfortunately, Europe has always had a history of hiding knowledge and understanding.
Yes.
We're going to get more into that a little bit later. But it was this characteristic that really had me jacked up as a child. Because as a child, I wanted to learn how to operate my spirit, mind, and body. I knew, just like everybody on this planet knows, that I'm composed of a material portion that's a body, an immaterial portion that's a spirit, and a partially material, partially immaterial portion that's called a mind. When I started school, I knew that. Again, knowing is emotional, spiritual. You feel what you know as opposed to understanding, which is intellectual. You think about what you understand, you feel what you know. I knew that. Most people know that. So I expected to go to school and become educated in how to use those parts of my being. And they mentioned them not at all. I went to elementary school. I figured, okay, they'll do it in high school or junior high school. No, they didn't. I said, well, maybe I got to go to college in order for them to actually tell me about how the spirit, mind, and body work. No, well, then maybe it's professional school. Maybe I need a profession. Let me go to nursing school first and then medical school. Nursing school, medical school, internship and residency, health administration training, metaphysics, gave me a little inkling of it, and education, working on the second master's at CSU, they didn't mention any of those things at all. I ended up having to create it myself. That's why I was nominated for that $10 million prize in innovation called the X Prize. That's why I was invited to the Incentive to Innovation Conference at UN headquarters in New York and blew the world's mind by introducing them to the trivalent understanding noetics. But I knew as a child, my imagination was not part of my body or mind. And I used it all the time to do some things that I thought were everyday things. And I later find out when I was about 12, no, just you. Just you do that stuff. Just you take your imagination and use it to travel and visit different realities. And no, nobody else does that, just you. And instead, everybody's taught to ignore your imagination. One of the things we learned at the seminar down at Ridall was that all children before the age of 5, when measured on creativity, are in the genius range.
This was the NASA experiment.
Right. Thank you, baby. 100% of children were in the genius range. When they started school at age 5, that went down to about 75%. By the time they got through elementary school, it was down to less than 50%. By the time they started high school, it was down to 20-some-odd%.
So sad.
Our educational system makes people more ignorant, takes away abilities, especially spiritual abilities.
Even the teachers are harmed from the same
Oh, God, yes.
experience.
Because you're not taught to educate.
You're
taught
educating.
to train.
Right.
You are taught to train children.
Yes.
Education is about telling them about themselves,
Right.
how they function, who they are, what they are, where they are, and when they are. So they can determine why they are. That's education. We don't do that. I didn't know that. So I came into this reality expecting to get educated. And I tried here, couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Tried it here, couldn't get it. Tried here, couldn't get it.
And I just thought I didn't have enough education. I just kept going. Yes, I
No,
understand.
baby,
I bear
you
witness.
were absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You didn't have enough education.
Good point.
You had lots of training.
Yes.
You had degrees up to wazoo.
Yes.
No education. I have talked to doctors, PhDs, all sorts of, quote, educated people, and informed them to their later agreement that they have never been educated. No, not at all. Never. And once I explained what education was and how it worked, they all agreed. Nope, nobody ever told me that. I never looked at life like that. I never looked at me like that. But I came up with a song that we'd like to play for you. It's the Hip Hop Trio Plus. And we're singing a song that is basically biologic. It's a auto-bio of what I just got through telling you about. Me trying to get taught how my spirit, mind, and body function. And specifically how to use my imagination instead of being told, quit daydreaming. That's using your imagination, by the way. We're going to do this song for you now called Can't Get.
When you're going through this thing called life, you're going to have a great number of opportunities, and you're going to have some challenges. In those opportunities and those challenges, you may not be able to get everything that you want, but you should always try to get what you need.
You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want.
But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Now we're all here for the celebration, trying to find out my own creation, how to learn from my imagination, finding truth, my only liberation. Yeah. 'Cause you can't always get what you want. You can't
Always get what you want.
no.
Always get what you want.
But if you try sometimes, you know you just might find you get what you need. So we find ourselves without the spirit, trying with mind and body just to feel it. We train, then work to make our money. Without purpose, we're feeling kind of funny, and not the ha-ha kind. 'Cause you can't always get what you want. You really can't.
Always get
But if you try sometimes, you know you just might find you get what you need. So finally, I thought I'd try this tuning. Understanding, you know, it taught me the way I say no fooling. Now believe what you want, it's your decision. But I know the way without collision. 'Cause you can't always. No.
always get what you want.
Sometimes get it that way.
Always get
You
what you
sometimes
want.
can't get it another way that you can. And I try sometimes. Just like that. Get what you need. You get what you need. You get
Po Trio Plus, and produced by Global Entertainment. Mick Beats.
Hey, hey.
Here I is.
Okay, y'all. Now, get back to line 44.5 and the failure of our government. When asked what were his feelings about elections, stated on national TV back in 2016, before he ever became president, when asked whether he would accept the results of an election versus Hillary, he said, "I'll look at it at the time and see what I decide." He was not ever going to accept democracy. And he said that really, really early. When told that one of the hallmarks of democracy is a peaceful transfer of power, he again stated, "I'll tell you at the time." 11/27/2016, when he won the Electoral College but lost the popular vote by more than 2 million votes. He tweeted, "In addition to winning the Electoral College, I won the popular vote if you deduct the millions of people who voted illegally." Now, you got to understand, line 44.5 had been totally warped by his father in never accepting being a loser at anything. Now, not only is that really mind numbing and warping, twisting, it's really, really, really stupid. You are supposed to lose at some things and learn from losing.
Ashe.
If you never allow yourself those lessons,
Yes.
you're going to be stupid.
Yes.
You're not going to just be ignorant. You're going to be avoiding understanding.
Yes.
And that's who he is. Now, line 44.5 established a voter fraud commission a few months after his election. But the short-lived federal project was ended because there was no fraud found. There was no election malfeasance in the nation. And so it was eliminated. Okay, but no. Maybe I messed things up. 7/19/2020. Mike Wallace on Fox asked about accepting the election results. And he said, "Then I'll have to see before I accept any results." Again, this is July the 19th, 2020. 17th of August, that same year. This is right before the election in November. This is 2.5 months before the election, be specific. He says, "The only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged." Remember that. It's the only way we're going to lose. This is before the election. This man has never believed in democracy. And he has said so.
Yes.
Over and over and over and over. So he only gives two options. I win, you cheat. Either I win or you cheated.
Yes.
That's the way he sees everything. Either I win or you cheated. Must be fraud somewhere. You got to have election. And then he brings in people to think up ways how other people can cheat. Dead South American dictators, Jewish spy satellites, Russian, Italian, we'll think of all sorts of really weird ways when someone may cheat. Okay. Malignant narcissist, again, his father started all of this stuff. And the worst thing that he can think of anybody is, "You're a loser. And that's why anybody who attacks him, anybody who says the truth about him, oh, they're just a loser. Oh, they're a lying loser. Oh, they're a fat loser. Oh, they're an ugly loser. Oh, they're an unattractive loser. Oh, loser, loser, loser. He can't stand it. The man is twisted. That's like all those 32 psychiatrists said before he took office. Malignant narcissist. You're going to be in trouble. That's what they said long before he got the presidency. Last but not least, All In with Chris Hayes. I watched one little thing that that was so emotionally irritating and aggravating. Chris Hayes lost it, y'all. This is All In, and I think this is for the 17th. Chris Hayes says, that's Donald Trump's position on elections. After he reviewed what I just reviewed for you. He said, that's pretty goddamn consistent. I am not exaggerating. He said on nationwide TV, that's pretty goddamn consistent. This man has never been democratic. He has never been about democracy. He has always only been about me, me, me. And I don't care about the will of the people at all. Okay. Why are they surprised? Why are people surprised? The Republicans who supported him, most of them are not surprised. Most of them are twisted very much like him. The percentage of those who aren't fell away from him over the last 4 to 6 years. Some of them even had to wait until January 6th. But there was a huge crowd of resignations on his death, January the 7th. What did they think would happen when this man who told them he wasn't going to go along with democracy, told them for years he's not going to accept anything he doesn't like, and he doesn't like being a loser. He was only going to win and you were going to cheat, so he was going to win anyway. What did they think would happen? They thought what happened would happen. Line 44.5 gets voted out, but still stays in charge. It is the end of democracy. Not by line 44.5's actions, but by the inactions and enabling silence of those who support him. In answer to our initial question, is it over yet? No, it's still going on. And we are right now still in danger of the democracy called the United States of America being eliminated. Now, two things have occurred to me in the past 24 to 48 hours. I'm only going to share one with you. The other one, you ain't ready for yet. Bob Woodward gave a speech in Midland, Texas. Midland, Texas is called an oil capital because both Bushes, Senior Bush and W, both lived in Midland, Texas. Bob Woodward from Washington Post was there doing a benefit, and he had a meet and greet at somebody's house, and it was about 20 or 30 people there. He, before the question and answer that these 20 to 30 people were entitled to by paying extra money, he said, before y'all ask me a question, I'd like to ask you two. He said, how many people here believe there was voter fraud in the 2020 election? Nobody raised their hand. Now, this is the heart of Republican country, the middle of the gas and oil industry, one of the reddest places in this nation, Midland, Texas. He's there with 20 to 30 relatively rich people. And he asked them, how many of y'all believe there was some voter fraud or problems with the 2020 election? Nobody raised their hands. Then he said, how many of you plan to support line 44.5 if he decides to run? He didn't say line 44.5, of course. He called it by his regular name. And he said, how many of you plan to support him if he decides to run? Every hand came up. Every hand was raised. So, again, line 44.5 don't bother me at all. Who bothers me and scares the hell out of me are the people who support him. Why? Because they are in danger of ending the democracy known as the United States of America. They are, number one, ignorant. Number two, stupid, because they don't want to understand. And number three, anti-American, anti-democratic. Excuse me. You're telling me that 20 or 30 of the richest Republicans in Texas knows that this man is a lying sack of bourgeois. They know that he is destroying the democracy, which means every vote counts and we rely on the votes to determine who's the president.
Yeah.
These people are all willing, able, and ready to support a person who don't give a damn about democracy. Who cares not at all what you vote for. He's going to stay in power as long as he wants to. And he's going to lie, because that's what he does. And people are going to still support him. Now, I got several problems with that. Again, I told you about one. If you support lies, that means you're against the truth. You're against reality.
Yeah.
You're against science. You're against history. You're against religion. You're against, no, I'm sorry. You're against spirituality. You're not against religion.
Okay.
Because religion ain't got to be about the truth.
Life.
Life, basically. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
They're against living. They're much more infatuated with death, destruction, because that is much more in line with lies. I have a huge problem with that, not for me, because I'm going to take care of me and mine. I have a problem with that for this nation, which, again, my first job was risking my life to defend. I got shot, blown up, fell down a mountain with a pre-10 radio on my back to defend this democracy. And I see people supporting a man who totally and completely denied the existence or the need of patriotism. You remember what happened when he was the president and they overseas, he was supposed to be dedicating this burial ground for World War II veterans.
Right.
And he said, why are we honoring them? They're the losers. They lost because they died.
Because they patriots.
Yeah. He said, a patriot is a loser. That's what he said. Nobody cajoled this out of him. Nobody baited him into saying this. This is how he feels. This man who 3 times ducked military service. Oh yeah, and his father ducked military service, and his grandfather ducked military service over in Europe, and his son ducked military service. All of these people. And the folks who want to support them. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Okay. Mick is saying dope podcast, and we got Micah Tate saying hi, enjoy
hey,
the
Micah.
Go, girl.
Micah is one
We
of the
missed you.
assistants for Mick Beats production, and
We
his
miss you,
son is
Micah.
with us right now, substituting and doing his part.
Makai's doing a good
Makai
job.
is with us right
He's
now.
a little slow with the
Yes,
pictures,
he's
but other than
awesome.
that,
Yeah.
he's doing a good job.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
for real.
He is. He got some good pictures. He has
Yeah.
really, really good skills. And
Mechanical, yeah, he's
talent. Yeah.
multitask,
He's been blessed.
multi-talented.
Okay. Back again to the show.
And you're welcome to call in. You see the
Please
number
call in.
glowing beneath our.
I need somebody to call in right about now.
Our
If somebody
breath.
could call in, I got a gift for you. I got a special gift for you in my bag. Where's my bag? I got a hip hop t-shirt.
All right. Yeah.
I do. I got a hip hop shirt that I have freaked out, and yes, you will love it. For our next caller, if somebody calls in the next 5 minutes. Thank you. Let me have that. That's where it is. Unzip it. Thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate it. Okay.
Yes.
Hip hop, the art of being.
Yes.
Oh wow, that looks good.
Give us a call. Give us
Look at
a
that.
call, y'all.
I freaked it
Call
out, gave
one.
it some texture. Hip hop,
620
the art of
610
being.
2060.
Oh yeah, you can get
And
it.
enter the code 951438.
You can get it.
All right.
Now, if nobody calls, we're gonna only be on for about another 10 minutes. And
All
we're gonna
right
be out.
now. We actually have another show to do tonight. We've been
Oh, we
honored
really
to be a part of Silver B in the mix
Yes.
at
his
voiceitradio.com
round table.
tonight. Yes.
We're going to be his special guest. He has been honored with, I think it's called
Senior of the Year.
for
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
He got an award today. He asked my wife to make him a crown.
Yes.
We both went in on making this headpiece for him, which he seemed to kind of enjoy.
Yes. So he wore that today
Yes.
when he was being honored.
And we're going to be going to pick him up in about another 10 minutes
Yeah.
out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody calling. Then I'm going to feel that everybody got all the questions answered and everybody knows what they need to know. And
you can save them for next time. Just,
hold on to them.
yes.
Because the Lord says the same and the ancestors agree.
Yeah.
We're going to be back here next week in 7 days from the same place.
That's right.
And
Same
we're gonna
time,
be able-
same place.
We're going to be able to answer at least 97.4% of all the questions that you ask. 97.4. And we ain't going past that.
And anytime we're not live for whatever reason, and you know that happens in life, we will always, our producer will always put on a video that we've done in the past, and we call it Blast from the Past.
Blast
So
from the
we'll
past.
never leave our audience empty.
No.
Yes.
We're going to do
Leave
it
you
to you.
empty-handed. We won't do that.
We ain't going to do it to you. We ain't going to do it for you.
Wow. Hey, Doc,
Yes, sir.
I got a question, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
You have a question? Wait a minute. There's somebody who has a call.
We got a call? Well, let's do a call then.
Okay, let's do a call.
Uh-huh. So,
Hey,
Hello.
hello. Who's speaking?
Hi. This is Kenya, aka KK.
Hey,
Good
hey,
morning.
KK.
Hey, KK.
Hello.
Wow.
So, listen, I got a question.
Please. Do you want a shirt? You
Okay,
already got a
so-
shirt. I don't
Well, hey, I mean, I love the design. I love the shirt.
Okay.
I could use another shirt.
Okay, we can talk about this. We can discuss this.
All right.
But ask
Okay,
your question.
All right. So earlier, you had us listen to the song "The Grapes of Wrath,"
Yes.
and you put emphasis on listening,
Yes.
which is making pictures of what you're hearing.
Yes.
So when listening to the Grapes of Wrath today, I got images of people who have been hurt in some way or another by their parents. I get images of families that deal with family curses.
Yes.
I get images of people that hurt others because they haven't, healed family trauma,
Hurt people,
within
hurt
themselves.
Shay.
Yes. And as I imagine what's going on here, it's like a tree forms. It's like a trickle down effect.
Wow.
There, people, they get hurt within their families, and they don't know how to deal with it, and then in turn they hurt other people,
Yes.
and then and next thing you know, it could spread.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking about this, and maybe I'm overthinking it, but I wonder, the grapes of wrath, is that limited to just the parent-child relationship? Is it possible that we harvest the grapes of wrath from our peers, from those we have friendships with, those we have romantic relationships with?
Yes.
And if so, or rather so or not, what are steps can one take in order to forgive others for the grapes that they've had to harvest from other people, and what are steps can people take in forgiving themselves for harvesting those grapes?
Okie doke. 3 things. You ask, is it just your parents? No, it is everybody you know. Everyone you know. And this is significant. Others, siblings, brothers and sisters, other relations in the family, uncles, aunts, nephews, whatever, cousins. So
The
forth,
government.
the media.
All right.
Anybody can give you their grapes. Anybody can give you the reflection of their own disappointment, the reflection of their own failures. That's basically what the grapes are. And unfortunately, most people do not realize that they're doing this. And in some cases, and this is going to be even weirder, in some cases, they actually believe they're trying to help you. I told many people about me telling my mama I was going to be a doctor when I was about 8 years old. And her response was, "Sure, son, sure," and patted me on the head. I'm thinking of a French phrase that really doesn't appropriately describe, but sans souci means without care. And that's kind of her attitude from her answer. She really didn't take it seriously. She really didn't think it was significant. And she gave me every indication that she didn't believe what I was saying. Later, I talked to other people about that incident. And Richard Pryor made a joke about a very, very similar incident in which he said, "Y'all better not be messing around them Jews down there without no money, boy, because without no money, you ain't going nowhere." Unfortunately, those are the grapes that many of our people have been picking and making into the most intoxicating wine you can ever imbibe. They believe it takes money. They believe it takes finances to do anything. I have a dime, and I got $1 million education, really about several $1 million education. I ain't pay a dime for none of it. I had other people pay for
echo
it.
that for myself.
And I went around the nation teaching people how to let other people pay for everything you want to do. Sweetheart, how much do we pay for anywhere?
Somebody else's money.
Somebody else's money
that's
usually
the
was
best way I can
paid.
answer that.
We haven't paid mortgage in what? How long? About a year?
I don't even remember right now.
I don't either. But we got a really nice
Yeah.
$1,500 mortgage. We haven't paid. We got somebody else to pay. I'm serious. And we won't have to pay anything until when? November?
November.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
these are some of the grapes that other people have given me, will give you, will give to other folks. Not really realizing the intoxicating and diverting effect of these grapes. You're going this way, they give you grapes, and they turn you yada. They don't understand, but they know that it has been done to them. They feel it has been done to them. So they know that. They don't understand how, why, to what degree. Your last portion of your question, what do you do about that? Now, how do you forgive people for doing that? Number one, you don't do that. You don't forgive them. You don't have to forgive them. They've done nothing to be forgiven for. All they have done is bounce off you what life has bounced off them. You protect yourself from those ricochets by coating yourself in a firm understanding and belief in your purpose, your being, what you are here to be, do, accomplish. Talk to the Most High, which I've taught everybody how to do. It's a technique you use, and you ask the Most High not only what are you here for, what you're supposed to do, but how you're supposed to get there. And then you use your faith to make that reality. And anytime anybody bounces their disappointments or rejections off you, it bounces off you because you built a shield of faith and purpose around you that rejects stuff like that. Many people who have had problems dealing with others, I have instructed to do this little simple thing, to visualize when they're in a situation in which somebody is taking their energy, dismaying or disappointing you. Visualize a yellowish shield around you that bounces back everything they are saying and all of the images they are trying to get you to make. One of the things that people do not understand for the most part, because they haven't come to the trivalent understanding noetics, is communications in any form is about trying to take images from your spirit and put it in somebody else's spirit. That's what talking is about. That's what music is about. That's what anything that's about communication is about. Taking images, pictures from one person's spirit and transferring those images or pictures to another person's spirit. Using protective images that insulate you from other images works very, very well. And most people have, well, I can't say most, because most people don't ever come back and tell me. But those who have talked to me about using that type of technique have all said, Doc, I was shocked at how easy it was and how effective it worked. It's about using images from your spirit to protect images in your spirit from people trying to change or alter images in your spirit. Now, Does any of that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much,
I've
Mama.
never thought of it
Listen,
like that.
we will discuss your shirt options at a later date.
Yes.
Ha ha.
Love you, Kenya. Thank you so
Yay!
much,
Thank you,
KK.
Kenya.
Thank you,
Thank you
KK.
very
Love
much.
y'all too. Thank
We love you.
y'all.
Adasi.
Okay, y'all.
Hey, Doc,
Uh-huh.
I got a couple questions and then I got one statement.
Come on with a question.
Have you ever saw the documentary on Netflix? It's called Who We Are.
Yes.
You saw the whole documentary?
Yes.
By Jeffrey, what's his name? Jeffrey Robinson.
I do not remember his name. I remember seeing the video.
Very powerful video. Do you recall a famous civil rights attorney back in the day? His name,
Thurgood Marshall.
His last name is Constance. These are his two daughters right here.
Consular, of course.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Consular. He was a very, very famous civil rights lawyer, a Jewish man that helped a whole lot of people get out not only of prison, but get off of death row.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So his two daughters, he's deceased now, his two daughters, they were watching Jeffrey, he's a lawyer actually, Jeffrey Robinson, at his TED Talk, I believe. And they were in the audience. And they were so awed by him, and they just chased him down, and they actually produced this documentary and film.
Wow.
And they did it for free because they just loved his message on what he was talking about, who we are. He really chronicles what you said, Doc, the truth of race or so-called race and racism. And I would definitely like to get him on the show.
That would be something good. We could talk at great length about the depths of the lies that undergird not just white supremacy, but European sociology and history.
Right, and that's what he talks about. It just reminded me of some of the things that you teach and what we talk about.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That is the truth. And anybody who wants the truth has to go through that truth, because Europe, its culture, its education, its sociology are all based on the lies they told themselves to make themselves feel better.
Exactly. Oh, that's so powerful, man. This is, hey, what I
I'd
want
like
to
to take this time to say that you can also, the audience, you can also go to hashtag Woken in Tune on YouTube to get more insights. We also have Ohio, Prometheus of Ohio is, you can subscribe to as well. It's on YouTube. And we have the Science of Trivalency. It's a Facebook page you can go to as well. So that's just where you can, some places you can go to get some more insights on the trivalent understanding noetics created by Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods.
Yes.
I ain't gonna be here forever. I'm only gonna be here to 2053. That's what God told me. I'm gonna live till I'm 103. So you got a limited amount of time to come get this information about you that you're not going to get from high school, college, professional school, any place else, because they didn't create it. I didn't either. I just rediscovered what they were lying about. And it just so happens that it turns human beings into meta-human beings. Okay? Your statement, my brother, was that the statement?
The statement is I would like to
Get him on the show.
get him on the show. And then there's an interview that I've sent to you guys on Messenger where they actually do a interview, a podcast with the creators of that film, the two sisters.
Yes.
What's their name?
Emily Consular and Sarah Consular.
Right, and then with him, and then there's a couple other people. I would definitely want y'all to watch that, and I would like to talk about it.
Again, I've watched all of this.
Okay.
I would like to talk to the counselors.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
was on my
definitely.
spirit. Yeah.
I
Definitely.
want to talk to the counselors about the next step.
Yes.
Yes.
The next step is being meta. I would like to give them meta.
Exactly.
They need it. They deserve it. They should have it.
And they want to do something with.
Well, after that, we can talk about some other things.
Yeah.
But I would like to present them with meta.
Yeah, let's talk about that some more. Yes.
Yes.
Off air, yes. Once
Off
we're
air,
done
we will
with the
talk
show.
about making the counselors,
Yes.
Emily and Sarah, meta.
Yes.
Now, right now, I got to get off this show because we got to go and pick up Silver B to get ready for another show.
So we're going to end this with peace.
Yes.
Proper
Which stands for
proper education. Always corrects error. Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Please, play my music. There it is!